All right, Sam, so got the belt tightened up, so everything is good in that sense. The oil leak is actually coming from right here. So basically from right behind this pulley, there's a seal, and it's leaking from that seal. The oil is also getting on this belt and is traveling all the way up the belt, and I believe that's what this oil is from. However, I'm not 100% sure, just because every time I clean it off, it comes up from down here. So I can't be sure if the seal here is leaking as well, or if it's just traveling up from here. My feeling is it's just this one seal leaking and it's traveling up. The issue is these nuts right here, all three of them, for the timing, are one-time use nuts. So if I were to take this nut off to see, the seal and basically get an idea of what we're looking at, unfortunately we would have to have a new nut just to put it back on. So essentially that kind of prevents me from being able to just check it out, essentially. At this point, your options are two. The bike will definitely function as it is. It's a relatively small oil leak. Obviously, like, getting oil on the belt is not ideal. However, given the value and the condition of the bike, I would say it is an option. I obviously just feel horrible, like, every time we find something else wrong with the bike. Having said that, you could easily run it as it is, and basically maybe do the seal down the road if you wanted to, or just enjoy the bike how it is now. The other option is obviously, you leave it here until the seal comes. We do the seal, and we try and make it so the bike doesn't leak any oil whatsoever. And when we do the seal, I would put on the brand new belts, because this one has been soaked in oil. It's completely up to you, man. At this point, it is a good bike. I definitely enjoy riding it. I definitely would say, if you really do have a emotional attachment to the bike, or you're fond of it, then I would definitely say it's worth it. Just because it is a good bike, and it is pretty fun to ride. Having said that, the bike works as it is. It's not going to increase the value by much if you do all that maintenance. So it's one of those things where, you might also just decide to enjoy it as it is and just have a small oil leak and, once a month top off the oil. It's completely up to you. That is basically the only remaining issue that I can, that I can find on this bike. Everything else is good to go. The only other thing that I did find, because I've had it at my house and I can finally, basically I've spent more time with the bike, I finally noticed that it is actually leaking oil from this little oil sight glass. And I don't know if you can tell in the video, but the glass is actually cracked right there. So you see, right, you can kind of see it. I don't know why my camera's not focusing, but essentially, yeah, so right there. So those little cracks, it's actually weeping oil out of there when it's hot. I took a look online for these. They seem to be a little on the pricey side, and I also was having trouble finding anyone that had them in stock. So I'm gonna keep looking, but we could just take this off and essentially either use an epoxy or some kind of glue to just fix this on the cheap side, because $50 for a little thing like this is kind of annoying to me, but we'll see what we can find. So yeah, but this little oil leak here and this little oil leak here, other than that, the bike is, it runs, it rides. The clutch is working great. I just put my girlfriend on the back and did full throttle runs just to make sure that the clutch wasn't going to be slipping at all. And yeah, it held full throttle, second, third gear upshifts, full throttle. So I would say, the clutch is completely sorted. The lever has literally never felt this good. Like, there's absolutely no play. So finally we've gotten all the air out of the system. So, we've made a lot of progress. It's, it's so much of a better bike than when we started, especially with just even the little things like finding the bolts loose in here. I mean, this little housing right here, it could have exploded on you because those bolts were loose, you know. So I definitely, you know, I'm happy with the work we've done. It's just one of those things where it's completely up to you whether or not we, you know, put in another couple $100 on a problem that, you know, it doesn't stop the bike from working. So there you go. That's the update. I'm gonna send you over a bill for the hours we've done so far. I know I quoted you 2 hours for tightening the belt. I'm actually gonna cut that in half, man, because of, you know, essentially if we do the seal, I'm gonna have to do the belts again anyways. So let's just call it an hour for getting them tightened. Again, I had to get them tight to run the engine without worrying, you know. Now we've run the engine, we've seen where the oil leak is coming from, so the next step would be to fix the oil leak. So that's a little update, man. You know, sorry it's taken a while. I definitely am still coughing, so it's kind of frustrating just because, man, it's been like going on 22 days now that I've had this cough. So my brother got tested. He was not positive, so most likely I'm fine, but it is just one of those things where, you know, it's annoying when you feel under the weather. So there you go. I guess let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all. Please, you know, feel free to call me or message me, man. All right, hope this message finds you doing well. And, you know, another thing too, it's like, you're welcome if you want to swing by. You know, we could start to bike up. You could run it, ride it, take it for a ride even if you wanted, and then park it here again until the seal comes. You know, that's another option. I completely flexible, whatever you feel, whatever keeps you, however you feel like you want to move forward, you just let me know and we'll make it happen. All right, Sam, take it easy.